Drills Talk, episode 136. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to control your peace. This is based on a blog I wrote in the past entitled Dealing with Negative People. Controlling your peace is up to you. Dealing with negative people, also up to you. You don't need to respond. You can respond if you see it's necessary or you feel it's necessary or you're still working on yourself and you just can't let it slide. It's all good, but we're going to understand how to control our peace and how to deal with negative people right now. Drills Talk, episode 136. In this episode, we're going to discuss the top 4 ways to control your peace. But before we get started, please like, subscribe, show your love however you would like to show your love. Here we're an entrepreneurship based channel. Every Monday, we have a new blog. Every Wednesday, there's a new Drills Talk. I also post motivational videos every now and then, there for you when you need them. And I hope you check those out. Let's get started. Number one. Number one is to jab back. Now, this is something that we probably already do, but there's a extra step that we need to take. When we are jabbing back, we need to jab back once. It needs to be good. It needs to cut deep. It needs to get a point across, and you have to understand and be okay with that being the end all be all. You see, that makes it a little different. You're not just jabbing back, and when they say something, you got to say something back, and then you say something and they respond, and then you respond to that. We're not doing that, right? We're controlling our peace. So if we cannot say nothing, we need to jab back, and it needs to be a nice, sweet jab right to the face, right to the gut, right to the solar plex, whatever it needs to be. It needs to hurt. It needs to cut. It needs to be enough and have ourselves satisfied with that being all we're going to say. Doesn't matter what they say after. Doesn't matter, if they come back and I said what I had to say. And if we're comfortable with that, that's a growth thing, because of course, probably right now we jab back and we're good and we're defending ourselves and they say something else and now we got to say something. And I understand that. But if we get to the point of saying one thing, making it as snappy and as, sharp as we can and being okay to move on, that gives us an amount of peace that we just don't have yet. So definitely practice that. And maybe we can get even to a further step, which I'll mention later on. Number two. Number two is to practice doing what makes you happy. A happy person doesn't really have enough time to, stop their happiness and address someone who's unhappy, which is a negative person. You know what I mean? Like you're so happy, you can feel the negativity. You know what I mean? It's like, well, do I really want to pause my happiness and go into that realm of negativity with them, right? Because the happiness is not going to come with you. So do you want that? Is this person, whoever this person is, important enough to take away your happiness, right? Take away what you deemed a good day to address them? Is it worth it? Probably not, right? So understand that you don't need to do that. You don't need to address them. You don't need to pause your happiness. You can continue doing what makes you happy. And eventually, not being around negative people will be another thing that makes you happy. So they'll be out of the picture. But again, protecting your peace may not always deal with a negative person. It may be just a stressful situation. So how are you going to deal with that stressful situation? Absolutely, we're going to deal with the problem. We're not going to ignore it, right? But what we're going to do when we get home, we're going to decompress. We're going to relax. We understand we have a problem that we need to address. Got that. But right now, what will make me happy is the ability to relax, regroup, right? In the comfort of my own home and think about how I'm going to tackle, as opposed to being stressed and, trying to come up with a decision. And that's not the way we want to do it. We want to control our peace. We want to promote peace in our lives. And how we're going to do that is to calm down, have a sane mind, take time to think about the situation or the issue at hand, and then address it. Watch how better of a decision maker you become when you add that little piece in, that little woosah moment as you get home and you recalibrate. Try it out. Number three. Number three is to ignore negative people. Now we talked about number one, jabbing back, right? And that's where I am right now. I'm still not quite at the ignore, but I'm close. And when we get to the level of ignore, you can see something negative or something someone stated about you, and you can think to yourself, what would be the positive outcome of me jabbing back and saying something and getting to a back and forth? That person may win in regards to they just wanted me to respond and say something back, right? It's like, I got you, whatever, you know what I mean? Or, this person could just be an unhappy person and then they get off on making someone else unhappy and they succeeded again, right? To where I was happy, I saw something negative, I responded. Why? You can just ignore them, and if we're promoting positivity and we're being positive and we're happy, that kind of pushes away negativity anyway. They may see you're happy, but you're not going to see that they're unhappy because you can be blinded by the happiness. You see a negative person and it's like, I don't, they're over there. It's not something that you really want to focus on because you're not that person. They want to be you. You don't want to be them. So there's a certain level of, unwanted admiration that they have, which can be making them even angrier because you are experiencing what they're looking for, which is happiness. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody wants to walk around angry. Nobody's goal is to be angry. Everybody's goal is to be happy and enjoying themselves. That's the goal for everybody. So if you're already there, why stop that, which is what everybody's wanting, to change your, mood and your focus to something that is backwards? Why would we do that? We wouldn't, right? So as we get a little more mature and a little better in controlling ourselves, we can go from the jab back, the real sharp one, to not even responding at all. Because why? We don't have to. Number 4. Number 4 is a biggie, and it's to become independently capable. So why would you need to be independently capable? What does that mean? It means to be able to be on your own. Now, this is more for people who are in relationships or dependent upon people who are negative, dependent upon people who are taking their joy. What can you do to, grab some control of your peace? Not need them, not be dependent on them. What are you doing to be independently capable of taking care of yourself, of being able to walk away? Are you working on it? And if you're not, then you should start working on it right now, right? Because if you don't need that person, if that dependency is gone, you don't need to deal with the negativity, right? Because right now, people may see on the outside looking in thinking it's a choice. Oh, he's not happy with her or she's not happy with him. They're not happy in their relationship, but such and such needs to stay. Or, it seems like a choice to me, but I don't know. Maybe that person can't even go out on their own. And they're right. You're stuck in that situation not because you, quote unquote, love that person and you think that they can do better. You're in that situation because you're grossly dependent on them. And no matter how negative they are or how much of a problem they're doing, or making for your peace, you're kind of stuck because you haven't done your part, which is your responsibility as an adult, to be independently capable. Now, you don't have to be independent. You don't have to not want anybody else around. You can want, to be part of a team, but you have to be able to handle yourself if this person that you're supposed to be a teammate with is way too negative and disturbing your peace. So work on the ability to be independent. Drills Talk, episode 136. These are the top 4 ways to control your peace. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. It's drills.com. Check this shit out. It's Drills.